Hello, I'm Nathan Leahy and welcome to Next Week in Gaming. First up, we've got a pretty decent bundle by Firaxis on the Humble Store, and this is going to include mainly XCOM and Civilization games, most of the good ones, a couple of the not so good ones. The one key thing I want to mention is in these three tiers, whereas in most Humble Bundles you'd be able to buy the whole thing and all of the games would come with separate keys, in this case each tier appears to come as its own key. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll buy this whole bundle and then I'll hand off some of the games that I don't necessarily need, you are going to have to hand off the key for that entire tier. So that's just something to bear in mind. But we'll just go ahead and take a look at some of those tiers. So on the first tier, which is the pay what you want tier, you've got Enemy Unknown, the original XCOM title from a couple of years back, Sid Meier's Pirates, Ace Patrol Bundle, and of course Civilization 3, which is a big favourite with a lot of people, including myself. Second tier includes quite a lot of games, and this is probably the most worthwhile tier of them all. Includes Civilization 4, Civilization 5, Starships, which was kind of probably one of the weakest Sid Meier games overall, plus 2 DLC packs for Enemy Unknown, a third even, with the larger enemy within, a 10% off the Humble Monthly, which they seem to be pushing a lot more now, and of course the extra games that will be coming next Tuesday as well. Also, we'll be getting, on the third tier, Civilization Beyond Earth, which is not so great, plus 33% off of their Rising Tide DLC and the Exoplanets map pack as well. So all in all, I'd say the third tier is not particularly worth it that much because all of the other Civilization games were much better. But the first and second tier are definitely worth it, purely because XCOM's an awesome game and most of the Civilizations are actually pretty well made, to be honest. So releasing on Thursday the 28th of January is the follow-up to Tomb Raider by Crystal Dynamics. This is Rise of the Tomb Raider, published again by Square Enix, and to be honest it's much of the same stuff as the previous title, just bigger, better, more of everything that you saw in the previous game, like the tombs. And of course it's got a heavy advertisement on the surviving of environments, cold, wolves, animals, the whole works, which, you know, is pretty much the same sort of stuff that, yeah, it's cool, but we're not really interested in that much. The one thing that they are pushing, which is relatively new-ish, is the fact that there's this sort of guerrilla combat, so you can climb trees and cliff edges and use water and everything to your advantage when it comes to combating all the various types of enemies. But, you know, Tomb Raider hasn't changed much over the years apart from in the graphics department and maybe a bit more focus on the story lately. But, you know, it's getting a little bit samey. We definitely don't want another Absolution from Square Enix, but it would be nice to see something, you know, come back and punch us in the face and make us think, yeah, Tomb Raider's cool again. But, you know, we can only sit and wait. Releasing on Friday the 29th of January by Blazing Badgers, a game which is epilepsy inducing, and I also know someone on the NextPowerUp forums who will love the name of the developer, particularly for badgers. This is Artificial Intelligence Police Department. Now this is a big throwback to sort of 80s style games like Tron, where you're in like a constantly changing arena that's, you know, made fresh every time you start a new game, and it's basically a 4-player arena game. You can play 4-player local co-op, so it's ideal for Steam machines and things like that, and it's just a lot of explosions and blasts of neon everything. If you look at the game, you'll probably get epilepsy, and if you do have epilepsy, kind of avoid watching the gameplay trailer maybe, but it does look explosive, fun, simplistic, and just a good solid party game. So we're pretty I'm personally quite interested in when that comes out next week, because I'll probably take a look at it as and when I host my usual Steam Machine LAN parties. Releasing on Tuesday the 26th of January by Traveller's Tales is the next in the LEGO video game franchise, Marvel's Avengers. So as usual, this is pretty much the same sort of game as all of the rest of the LEGO games. You have a lot of quite nicely crafted maps across a wide story arc that's loosely based on most of the recent films, and you can basically ad hoc switch between all of the main heroes as and when you unlock them, in order to solve various extra puzzles, optional puzzles, and just collect everything. I don't really have a bad thing to say about LEGO games. I've met the developers, played a lot of their games, and it's just solid, good fun for both adults and for children as well. Like, I enjoy it, even though there's not much dialogue. The humour in it is still pretty great, and it's just a well-made game, to be perfectly honest. So if you have played any of the previous LEGO titles, this is going to be pretty much the same, just with a lot of probably unique skills for each of the hero specialties in order to unlock those random silver, I can't even remember what they're called, button bolt things. Yeah, anyway, that's out next week. So our review for next week is Bombshell by Interceptor Entertainment, except it doesn't release until Friday the 29th at 10 AM. Pacific Standard Time, I believe. So what we're going to do is, instead of publishing on Thursday, we're going to postpone it to Friday morning. The embargo doesn't lift until 9 AM, so it will be available 1 hour before the game releases, but we will be doing our usual review and performance analysis of that. I have been told that there's an SLI profile for NVIDIA, but not for AMD just yet. But you know, I've been looking forward to this game for ages. It's been months since I first started talking about it, and I just like isometric annihilation simulators. And it's looking pretty good, and to be honest, the press kit is one of the best press kits I've ever received. It comes with this awesome 20-30 page manual that explains everything to you, and I wish I could share it with you because it looks like it's been genuinely well made. So if the game is as good as the press kit, which hopefully it is, then we could finally be reviewing a game that I'm definitely going to enjoy and probably end up playing long after it's released as well. That's it for us at Next Power Up. Join us next week on Friday for our weekly review, and of course next week on Saturday for our next Week in Gaming episode. Let us know what you guys have been playing in the comments section below. As of recording, I am basically about to go to a Friday Night Magic tournament with a brand new deck after just getting back into MTG. If you go to the original article, there is a web link if you want to find the local Friday Night Magic store in your area. It's pretty good, pretty fun. Glad to be getting back into MTG, but not spending too much money. And of course, I jumped back into Reaper of Souls as well in order to test out this new patch that everyone's going on about it being great and all. So yeah, that's pretty much been all of my time taken up building a deck and playing Diablo. Of course, if you've enjoyed the video, like the video, and go ahead and visit the full article at the web link as well. So until next time, see you guys.